vital is the truth to you? How vital is it? Okay, very important question. Because if you're honest, some people, it's not so important. All right? Other people really want to know, even if the truth goes against their preconceived belief system. I don't know the breakdown of the population there. Based upon all my experience in journalism, I can't come up with a number. You know, I've told you that I think 10 to 15% of the human population is evil, based upon what I've seen. I don't know this number, okay? But that question, do people want to know the truth, is at the heart of many problems in America today, and that is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. So there is a poll about January 6th, okay, by Rasmussen, and the poll was evenly divided between Democrats, Republicans, and independents. The question, a special congressional committee investigated January 6th. How would you rate the job done by this committee? Okay, poor 38, excellent 29, good 18, fair 11. So 49% are poor or fair, excellent, good 47%. Nation split. Split down the middle about it. And the reason is because of Trump. The January 6th committee did not exist for any other purpose other than to say and try to prove, which they did not, that Donald Trump caused the January 6th riot. That was it. There's nothing there. And that's been proven. There was nothing about security there and that breakdown in security. There was nothing about extenuating circumstances or evidence produced that Donald Trump didn't do that. It was just a farce. And it doesn't matter because once the committee issued a report, it got 2 days of coverage. Now it's gone forever. All that money, all that time wasted because it's not going to matter at all. Because serious people know what that was. Now, the 47% who think it did an excellent or good job, are they looking for the truth? I will tell you, I don't believe they are. Okay, another poll, University of Massachusetts. Number of questions. Describe the events that took place on January 6th. Select all that apply. You can vote for more than one here. Riot, 55. I call it a riot. Protest, 49. Obviously, it was a protest. Insurrection, 42. 41%. Too strong a word, in my opinion. Rebellion, 34. Too strong. Uprising, 32. Too strong. All right. Describe the participants who took part in the events of January 6th. Rioters, 52. I think that's fair. Mob, 47. Okay, I'll go with that. Protesters, 44, certainly. Insurrectionists, 38. Too strong. White nationalists, absurd. Absurd. But 37% of Americans think these were white nationalists in there, all of them. Terrorists, 34. That's absurd as well. Who do you hold most responsible for the violence that occurred at the Capitol? Okay, Trump, 44. There you go. It's the same percentage that thought the January 6th committee did a hell of a job. So you see where the mindset is there. U.S. Capitol Police, 15. It wasn't their fault. All right, Democratic Party, 12. It wasn't the Democratic Party's fault. Antifa, 10. That's absurd. Conspiracy stuff. So who was most responsible? The rioters themselves. That's who was most responsible, right? I mean, if you were there on that day, would you have gone into that Capitol seeing the windows broken, the doors being slammed down, the police being shoved and spit at and cursed at? Would you have gone? I wouldn't. I mean, there's no way. So again, ask yourself that question. Okay, so that all ties into the reaction of the tape exposition this week on the Fox News channel. All ties in. Whether you want to know the truth or you're going to believe what you want to believe, doesn't matter. Okay, the people that believe Donald Trump wanted that Capitol riot to happen, you are not going to dissuade them. No matter how much evidence you produce that Trump ahead of time wanted to alert the National Guard. You saw his talk peacefully. It doesn't matter. They want to believe Trump incited it. They're going to believe it. Period. Okay. So the tape comes out. The tape was really not much. It really wasn't. I mean, you know, we went over it yesterday. If you are a premium or concierge member to BillO'Reilly.com, you can watch that anytime you want, and you can get a transcript of what I said, which is why I hope everybody will consider, oh, this is history, this program. This isn't just a news program. This is the record, okay? If you remember, you get a transcript of anything we do, and you put it in a little file. Okay, so some Republicans are criticizing Fox News. Roll tape.
Clearly, the chief of the Capitol Police, in my view, correctly describes what most of us witnessed firsthand on January 6th. So that's my reaction to it. It was a mistake, in my view, for Fox News to depict this in a way that's completely at variance with what our chief law enforcement official here at the Capitol thinks.
But all I know is that there were a lot of people in the Capitol at the time who I think were scared for their lives. So you can, however you want to describe it, but it was an attack on the Capitol.
All right, Utah Senator Mitt Romney said this, quote, "It's really sad to see Tucker Carlson go off the rails. It's so absurd. He's joining a range of shock jocks that are disappointing America and feeding falsehoods. I think it's a very dangerous thing to do, to suggest that attacking the Capitol of the United States is in any way acceptable. And people saw that it was violent, destructive, and should never happen again. But trying to normalize that behavior is dangerous and disgusting," unquote. Mitt Romney. Okay, so why are they doing that? Well, Romney and McConnell, they don't have any use for Fox News. I mean, Fox News doesn't like them, generally speaking. So, they've been axed soon, I don't know. But clearly, politicians in Washington, all of them, see that FNC is growing weaker by the hour. And it is. But these people that think that FNC is going to disappear or not going to be number one are crazy. Because the older conservative viewers, which comprise most of the Fox News' audience now, they're going to stick to FNC. And the other thing is, it's television. And far and away, Fox News has the better talent than MSNBC or CNN. I mean, their talent level at those Democrat liberal networks is very low. They don't really have anybody that kind of, well, I got to watch this person every day, No. So they think that Fox is going to somehow disappear or be marginalized. It's not going to happen to the core Fox viewer. Everybody else, I'm sorry, but Fox has been damaged almost beyond repair. And if that trial is held in April, that's coming up fast, I think it's going to be delayed myself. And I can't imagine that FNC is going to parade their executives and talent, in that courtroom. So a settlement, that looks like might happen, and it'll be a big number, that's for sure. But if there is a trial, that'll, come on, every day, and it'll be televised. It's just hard to see that, and that's a memo. The chairman of the Fed is promising more pain ahead. Last year, stocks dropped a whopping 20%. 2023 could be worse. You are right to be worried. So call the only precious metal dealer I trust, American Hartford Gold. They will show you how to protect your savings and retirement accounts by diversifying your portfolio with physical gold and silver. Since I've been a client and spokesperson, the price of gold has appreciated more than 35%. So please call today, and they'll have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your IRA or 401k. They have thousands of satisfied customers and have the highest rating in the country with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Please tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you, and they will give you up to $5,000 of free silver on your first order. Please call 866-501-5201. That's 866-501-5201, or text Bill to 65532. Again, that's 866-501-5201, or text Bill to 65532. The Heritage Group Foundation is in Washington, D.C. It's a watchdog, but it's a conservative group. They've been trying to get information from the FBI through the Freedom of Information Act. The FBI basically says, blank you, we're not giving you any information. So Heritage is now suing the FBI, all right? 7 separate cases. Here they are. Heritage wants to know all information about the FBI working with Facebook to improperly access political conservative Americans' data. Number 1. Number 2, inappropriate resourcing during the Black Lives Matter riots. Why weren't the FBI monitoring those riots? That's the second one. Number 3, FBI participation in Black Lives Matter activities. That means undercovers. Okay, they don't want the names. They want to know the scope of it. You can't give them the names. All right, number 4, Fusion GPS misdeeds. What does the FBI know about that? Number 5, pulling agents off violent crimes to work January 6 prosecutions. So Heritage wants to know how many FBI agents were involved in arresting January 6 protesters and whether they were pulled off other criminal details. And finally, they want to compare standards of prosecutions from Trump to Biden, whether that's changed. So the Freedom of Information Act gives court access to journalists when government agencies won't cooperate, and that's what this is. I think, Heritage, you'll get a lot of the information. The courts will order it. But again, will the FBI be honest in handing over what it has? I don't trust the FBI. I'm sure many of you don't. It's a real shame how low that agency has fallen. All right, let's go over to France, and there's riots all over the place there because they want to raise the pension age from 62 to 64, just a 2-year raise because they don't have any money. So you got to understand, this is what socialism is. The French government pays all the pensions, not the individual corporations, okay? And they pay health care, and they pay education, and they tax the French people up to their eyebrows, so the French people don't have a lot of income in the bank, and they need to have their pensions. And they don't want to put the age up. So it's crazy. I mean, if you fly into France, you better change your schedule. A fifth of the flights to Charles de Gaulle in Paris have been canceled, and a third to Orly in Paris have been canceled. All right, you can't go anywhere, and everybody's on strike. So there was some polling. 74% of French people under the age of 35 don't want the pensions raised, even though it doesn't affect them for 30 years. 56% of the French people support the strikes and the protests. This is going to happen here in the United States. So right now we have a sliding scale between 62 and 67. You can put in for Social Security and Medicare and all the entitlements that you paid into. Okay, and the French people pay into it too. As I said, they take their tax money. So in America, we pay into all this. And then you can decide when you want to draw it out. You have to draw it out at 67 and a half. Has to come out, and to you. But the government has looted the Social Security and Medicare funds for other things. Should be against the law, but it's not. So there's not enough money in the 2030s, coming up fast, to pay the entitlements. So they have to raise the age. And they'll raise it from 65, instead of 62 to 67, it'll be 65 to 70. Now, we'll have some trouble here. But that's what has to happen. It will happen. So get ready. Not for people There'll be an age cutoff, probably about 45. But the people who are approaching won't be affected. They'll make that compromise. Oklahoma votes to reject legalized recreational marijuana. Good for Oklahoma. I was going to do the states that have it, the states that don't. I'm not even going to bother with that. You know in your state whether you have it. We have it in New York. It's hurting the kids already. I mean, I'll just give you one in New York. So there's marijuana shops all over the city. So heroin addicts go in, they get the weed, all right? And they come out, and they don't smoke weed. They want heroin or fentanyl, whatever. So they get the edibles, the gummy bears with the THC on it. And then they sell the edibles to the kids. So before the classes begin in middle schools and high schools, there's a line of pushers out on the street selling edibles, marijuana edibles, to children who then ingest them and go into school. Okay? Like that? That good? Bill O'Reilly here for Lone Star Transfer. If booking your timeshare has been difficult in the past, you know it's been almost impossible lately. Most clients are shocked to learn that their timeshare is now available to the public, severely limiting booking options. Many owners are upset their yearly dues have nearly doubled during this maintenance fee season. For well over a decade, this family-owned company has had the pleasure of helping more than 18,000 owners legally and permanently get out of their timeshare fees. With an A+ rating at the Better Business Bureau and more than 900 5-star testimonials, Lone Star Transfer is a company you can trust. Lone Star Transfer guarantees the release of all liability to your timeshare in writing and in a specific time frame. So please call my friends today for a free, no-obligation consultation at 855-551-7066, 855-551-7066, or online at lonestartransfer.com. So as I mentioned, I'm writing Killing the Witches, and this is about demonic possession. That's what it's about. You strip it all down. So in Salem, Massachusetts Bay Colony, the Puritans came over and they believed in demonic possession. They believed that the devil could come in, make you a witch, witches do the devil's bidding. That's the pipeline. Puritans believed that. The people who came over on the Mayflower, primarily Puritans, believed it. In Europe, they believed it. Now, there are 32 mentions of demonic possession in the Bible. This is the stuff that we get for our book. 16 in the Old Testament, all right, way back, Moses mentioned it, and 16 in the New Testament. If you're a Bible reader or know anything about the Bible, Jesus cast out spirits, demonic possession. In modern times, and we do get into modern times in Killing the Witches. So we get all through that and then we kind of accelerate to now. Most people don't believe in an active devil, Satan, demonic possession. They don't believe that there is a malevolent presence on this planet that can actually hurt you. So, Dugard and I have been investigating that. I got to tell you something. There's some unbelievable stuff about it. It's very quiet because the media, of course, some in the media even deny that Jesus existed. That's how out there they are. So you got to be kind of careful. And we are. We're documenting everything. But I believe it. I do. I believe there's a force of evil that's present on this planet. Thank you for watching and listening to the No Spin News. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.